Hey there, welcome to a special holiday edition of my custom reviews. This time I'm reviewing a figure that was a submission for the Fwoosh Secret Santa event for 2018. This is my second year participating in this, and it's a really cool event where you get a group of customizers. I think there's about 30 of us in there this year. Even some industry professional sculptors and things like that work for Hasbro and DST and the like that get together and swap lists of figures that we like to get customs made of, and then pass them off in exchange for other customizers to send us gifts. It's a really cool event, like I said, and I'm really anxious to see what my recipient thinks of this figure, and not only that, but also who I'm going to receive a figure from. I mean, that's kind of part of the excitement, is that a lot of the people I'm involved with here were people that kind of taught me how to customize, and they're kind of the rock stars of my world. Anyway, moving on. So as you can see, this is the character Black Dynamite, as portrayed as Michael Jai White in the hilarious parody film, blaxploitation film. For those who haven't seen it, I recommend getting it this minute. It's probably the funniest film I've ever seen in my life, and I was so delighted when I received my list from my recipient that this was on there, among a lot of other figures that I just am not too familiar with and wasn't too excited about doing. And this happened to be at the very bottom, and a figure I wanted to make for years now. So I had a blast making this. The head is from a Booker T figure from WWE, with a resculpt added, of course, the afro and the big thick mustache there. The torso and arms are mostly from the Harrison Ford character, the Blade Runner 2049 movie. The legs from that same figure. I've actually spliced in different forearms and hands from different figures on that, and they're sculpted, as you can see, these sleeves on the forearms here to make it look like there's a jacket covering a dress shirt there. So those were added by me. This is a cut down overshirt that he was wearing. I believe the character had like a t-shirt underneath this, so I've kind of sculpted my own dress shirt underneath, as well as the collars here to make it look like it is actually a two-piece jacket. All of the figure, of course, is hand painted. The sequins were done by hand as well. It took me quite a while to figure out how to achieve the sequin look. I actually tried real sequins, but good God, trying to get tweezers and toothpicks and hand glue a million individual little blue and gold sequins was going to drive me batty. So I just went ahead and dabbed paint on there, and I think it's all shiny paint. There's a kind of translucent shiny blue as well. So I think it came out effective, for what it is. Anyway, moving on from there. So the figure does retain all of its articulation, as is very important for me. I definitely want the person that receives this figure to be impressed, as, like I said, they are all customizers, so they'll know the kind of things to look for. So the head, I've kind of sculpted out and dug out a lot of the inside of the head to make sure that it's got quite a bit of articulation and range there, so looking up and down, left, right, that kind of thing. The shoulders still retain their ball jointed articulation, and the swivel. There's double jointed elbows, so very important for, this is a martial arts character, so this is more important than ever to make sure that you get some cool posing out of this guy. Also, there is the kind of abdomen crunch, I guess, and swivel in the figure. The figure can do the splits, so it's important. He does a lot of kicking in the movie. I want to make sure that we can get some dynamic posing with that. Black Dynamite. The knees aren't double jointed, as that just wasn't an option with the Harrison Ford figure that I used, but I still think it retains, enough motion to, perform the kicks and moves and things you see in the movie. The feet are hand sculpted and hand painted, and they do retain their kind of left and right swivel, as well as there's a bit of an ankle rocker there, as you can see. So I want to make sure that when you do things like pose and kicking and things like that, that he doesn't look unnatural. He's not going to stand on his own, so I'm going to include a flight stand with this figure. So if I can put that around the leg there, Just give him a little extra support when posing to do things like kicks, like so. So very happy with how this came out. I think that it really captures the character and the essence of, martial arts. So a couple of accessories with this guy. There's the iconic pose from the movie poster that has him standing here with, I believe it's the First Lady, Richard Nixon's wife. I forget her first name. So he's kind of standing there like that with the pistol hanging out. Now, one of the parts of the articulation was very important for me to capture is this wrist, the left one here. Instead of having an in and out kind of motion with it, it's actually an up down. And that's on purpose because with the double jointed elbow, let me find my nunchucks here. I just set them down. So these are actually handmade nunchucks, little styrene rods with an actual chain between them. And what was important, as I was saying before, about the wrist movement here is that in that iconic scene, he is seen holding the nunchucks under his left arm, which that was, since it was the basis for the costume of the figure, I wanted to make sure that I could get things like the iconic movie poster pose done. So he can actually catch those up under his armpit there. Get this guy to stand. So as you see, I was able to faithfully recreate the movie poster. Very happy with how that came out. And now he's got, functional nunchucks and, all of the movement and everything. It's very fun to pose this guy in different ways. So like I said, there's the kicks, things like that. I almost made a Richard Nixon, figure for him to beat the crap out of, and the iconic nunchuck fight, but there just wasn't time. So alas, maybe another time when I make one of these for myself, because that's definitely happening. Anyway, all in all, I'm very happy with how this figure came out, and hope my recipient enjoys the figure as much as I enjoyed making it. Well, happy holidays, and until next time.